Welcome to the dbDOS Pro 5+N Configuration Manager Advanced Wizard overview. Now, if you've watched or have questions about how to use the Configuration Manager, you can just click on this help structure right here. What we're going to be focused on is using the Advanced Wizard to look at creating a new wizard. So we click on New Configuration. And if you're going to do the wizard, you have a help button down here that will allow you to do the wizard. And it will walk you through step by step of how to use that. What we're going to do is click the Advance button. When we click the Advance button, you'll notice that we have a wizard button, which will take us back to the wizard. We have a help button, which is how you got to this help in the first place. We have a test, save, and cancel button available to us. But what you'll notice is that each one of this is just basically the wizard with a bunch of more options that we have available to us at this particular moment in time. So what I'm going to do is the first thing we're going to do for this is go Advanced, dbase 5, and then this is the example using the Advanced Wizard. Now, notice that we did that. Now notice up here it automatically put the name up here. But notice also in our tagline up here it says dbDOS Pro 5+N Configuration Manager Advanced. So you should always know where you're at inside of the program. Now again, this has all the wizard's capabilities all set up, ready to go right inside of one single sheet. You can now use the mouse wheel to scroll down. The first thing we want to do is create a mounted drive. I'm going to go ahead, and this is the same dialog that's used in the wizard setup. I'm going to go ahead and click on the little file. I'm going to drill into my computer into C drive, and I have dbase 5 English set up, and I'm going to say OK. It's going to automatically set it to the C drive, and I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to slide down a little bit, and notice I have my launch options. If I want to, I could click on the little house, and that would bring up a dialog that shows me all the executables that could be called from where I'm located inside of my mounted drive. I could click dbase.exe and hit OK. Notice when I put an exe inside of here, it automatically changes the icon to be an exe. I could also come in here and let's say I want to use tmemory.prg, and that would also load up the tmemory program as an argument to loading up dbase exe. If I don't want to have that, I can just keep that blank and everything is fine. After that, I want to pick up where my regional settings are. Notice that I'm in the US right now. I'm set up for the United States, and my keyboard is 103, and so I'm going to leave that alone. Now, because this is the Advanced Wizard, we don't put a lot of extra letters in there. We don't put a lot of extra things in there. We're really about getting to and from how to create a quick configuration as quickly as possible, and this takes away all the frills. So the next thing is the printer setup. Well, we have the two legacies, so if you've been using dbDOS in the past and you've already used RAL or Interpreted and you like them, great. We have new ones though inside of dbDOS 5+N, which is around enhanced printing, which gives us the ability to print to PDF also, and also direct printing. Think of the direct printing as the new RAW and the enhanced printing as the new Interpreted. But the enhanced printing does a lot of extra stuff for us that we don't have to worry about. So, again, if you're a legacy customer, I highly recommend, if you're not, go to Enhanced Start there, and then we can go to any of the other options if the printout doesn't look the way you want it to. When you do use direct printout, you do have to pick a printer to be the default printer, and you will not see a print dialog when you're actually in the actual configuration when you go to print something. But again, I'm going to leave it on Enhanced. Now I'm going to slide down a little bit more. We're going to keep our code page. Now this is something that you don't see in the wizard, and there's a lot of things that we put into the Advanced for us at dbase, not so much probably for our customers, but more for us at dbase to help our customers get what they need. But one of the things is we can actually change the different code pages if we want. 99.999% of the people using the product never change the code page. However, we do have one or two customers that do from time to time change that. We also have a timeout that's basically standard 5 second, and what that allows for is extra printing processing. And so if your program has a lot of processing to do, you can set that up, and that'll set it up so that you can do that processing in the environment before the print kicks off. Next is our default font if we'd want that. And also, since we're doing enhanced printing, we could do save to PDF. We have to click on it. We come in, we have a couple of options. Number one, if you say also send to printer, what that will do is that will automatically send your print to the printer and also to PDF. You have a line here for a directory. If that directory is in there, if there's something in that directory line, it will automatically always print to that directory. If there's nothing in this line, it will ask you where to save the PDF every single time. You can set your margins, you can set your paper type, and set your options from there, save it, and then when you're done, go from there. But we're not going to be printing anything in this demo, so we'll just set it for that right now. Next, we have our display options. We always start off with a basic display because that's the most generic for everybody. We recommend that overlay be used for the normal print because most people are going to be using Vista and above type machines, so overlay is perfectly fine. But what we always configure for is the masses, not for what should be probably fine. So we don't recommend when you're creating your configuration, come in and try overlay. If you don't want to, if you have a GL-based graphics card, you can go ahead and pick OpenGL if you want to. But again, basic, if you're having problems getting things to work, you can always go back to basic. You won't have full screen mode in basic. You have to have overlay or OpenGL. And also inside your resolution, you can pull whatever resolution you want inside here, or you can type in what your resolution that you want. And keep in mind, just keep it at a 4:3 ratio or 4:3 ratio for your resolution, and you'll get the cleanest text. So let's go ahead, and for this little example, I want to go to 720 by 480, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. The scaler, I would leave that go. We have a ton of different scalers that we can go with inside of here, but unless you're having problems visualizing the code or having problems reading the actual DOS application, I would leave the scaler alone at this particular moment in time. Now, on some machines, we have CPU situations where they have really weird things with dbase 3+, and so sometimes we have to modify our CPU type and our core type and things like that. For the most part, you don't have to worry about that, and that would normally be under the direction of somebody at dbase. Next, the Autoexec features, right? And I just noticed there that I had the scroll bar and I did something there, so we'll go put that back to none again. And we'll come down here. We're not going to use a custom Autoexec section, but we do have the ability. This is one of the new features that allows you to go out there and create an Autoexec type functionality, keep it across multiple configurations, and really make it easy to work with the Autoexec section of the configuration file. And then finally, we have create a start menu, which we don't have on by default. We have a create a desktop shortcut, which is on by default. Automatically exit dbDOS when you close your application. I don't like that to be on because a lot of times I want to go back to the C prompt and I might want to do a dir, or I might want to do some other work. So I always like to come back to the C prompt. If I want to exit from there, I can just hit exit, and then I can say open status window. If there's a problem, sometimes we can look at the status and see if what errors are being displayed. 99.9% of the time we never use that, but in that rare occurrence where we need to, we can come into the advanced configuration, turn it on, we're ready to go. Now, of course, we could come in here to test, and that would test our configuration. I'm much more save it and then go back in and edit it. So I would hit the save button. When you hit the save button, you'll notice that we get another advanced configuration right there. Now, at any time you want to come in and modify that, you can come right back in and you can modify any of those items that you were working with before. Or if you want to come back in, notice I'll come back in, I could go into the wizard and step through step by step and it would still be the same. Okay, so either way it works great. If I double click on the shortcut here in a second, dbase +5 will kick off, or dbase 5 will kick off. And again, one of the really cool features is that, notice we clicked it with the advanced dbase 5. Let me click the 5 with the wizard, and just real quickly here, we'll bring this over, and you'll notice that we have two things up and running. They're both the same thing, but you'll notice that the title bar tells me that this is the wizard dbase, and this one tells me it was the advanced dbase that kicked it off. So we can go ahead and get rid of those. So that's how easy it is to create a configuration using the advanced wizard. It's streamlined, it's made so that you can get in and get out as quickly as possible, and we really are excited how streamlined we've got the wizard now, that you can just go in, boom, 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 done. And that's really great for a lot of our customers who are experienced with dbDOS and want to just get it done. And that's really what the advanced wizard's all about. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.